Welcome, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius to the Spirit of Light Gardens. We're going to do a spread today, which is a little different than what you're probably used to, because this is designed so that my role is to open the reading for you and then hold the space for you to be able to use your own inner wisdom and intuition to interpret or meditate upon the cards that come through. It's designed in the form of a dream catcher. We'll do Aries, then Leo, and then Sagittarius. Timestamps are all below. We'll start first with, this is for all of the signs. There's two cards that I have pulled, and it is the Creator and the Mystic. And with this, I just want to say, you are the mystic and you are the creator of your journey and your experience. So definitely bring your own creativity and your own mystic abilities into the reading. Now, I will read the meaning of the card and hold that up for you. So if you want to, just look in the description below. All the timestamps are there. When we pull the cards for each of the signs, we'll be looking at something that, to release, something to embrace at this time, and if that release and embrace happens, what could stem from that in your life. So it's very open to your interpretations, and we'll get started right now. Your theme card for all of the fire signs is the Forest. Now I'm going to hold this up for you. I will read from the book, and I want you to bring your own interpretations, what you see in the cards. There's a lot for you to bring in. As I read, you can just take a look at that. And let's see, this is the woods, the thicket, the jungle. Consider for a moment your earliest memories of the forest. It's likely included all the mythic dynamics of this archetypical space. A little fear, a little enchantment, perhaps losing your way, perhaps discovering a secret mystical treasure. Such is the magic of the forest. It requires first that you enter it, and then that you get lost within it. You may think there is a path to lead you straight through, but soon enough, you'll be on what is known as the pathless path. There are tricksters here, dense foliage and entanglement, but equally present are the glimmers of fairy light and friends among the trees. You are on an adventure now, and there's no turning back. So embrace the dim light and the moving shadows. Whether literal or imaginal, brave the forest and get lost getting found. Some of the key words for you to think of are, in the light aspects, magic abounds, childlike wonder, adventure. When in dark, concealment, density, savagery. And I read that so that it'll inspire you. I find it's very important when doing these readings to allow you to start embracing your own empowerment, your own wisdom, your own intuition. And with this dream catcher spread, me and my guides are asking you to tap in and connect more consciously with the subconscious. So we will go now into Aries. You are up first, and let's see what we have. What is something for Aries to let go of at this time? The Empress. What an interesting card for something to let go of. So often we want to be able to strive for and reach towards being able to embrace what the Empress represents. You know, it's funny, we have the Creator card over here. What creativity, you know, and creation could we release? Is it that maybe perhaps you have to release relying on other people's creativity? I mean, given this reading, that's something to contemplate. Relying less on my creative expression of the cards and bringing more of your own creative expression of the cards. Do you want to release looking at others as being the Empress that you need, and notice that you can be the Empress within? And there is, the language here does imply gender, but there is no such thing as masculine or feminine energy. It is all universal energy that we have as human beings. So do not worry about any gender in this. There's, you know, is there anything in the tree here? I mean, is this, to me, if you think the beautiful, you know, the pure light of the soul, and then, you know, our aura around our beings is there. So letting go, and there's such a darkness around that. It's very interesting. I want to see what the embracing card is next. Let's take a look at the embrace, because so often, you know, it's very hard to understand the let go of something until you know what's going to replace what you're letting go of. So let's go ahead and get one card for Aries for what to embrace. One card, please. There's so many cards that want to come out. You have a lot to embrace. I'm going to take this. Okay, we have the Seven of Pentacles. And I'm just seeing like a staircase here. What can you grow? For me, this is really, you know, letting go of, I just heard like the doubt that you are the Empress, that you can grow your garden, or that you need another to be able to grow. You step by step grow things. And perhaps one of the things to leave behind with this Empress energy is feeling like you need to create it in one snap. And this embracing is knowing that things grow step by step. These are tiny cards. I should hold it up for you to see. But, you know, this, if you look at it, this tree didn't just suddenly become so large. It started as a tiny seed. It grew roots underground before it could be seen. The idea of it instantly becoming, you know, you're going to start something and it'll instantly become this great, grand, big thing. That's something to consider with letting go of and embracing the fact that each step you take, it's one little pentacle at a time that you grow and you grow and you grow and you grow, and you reach further and further and further, and you climb higher and higher up that mountain. So those are, like I said, I'm only here to get you started into interpreting the cards. Feel free to pause and think your own thoughts, or rewind and take another look at something. But I really do want you to embrace your own intuition to bring to these cards. Apply it to whichever area of your life you feel like it might be helpful. And let's see. If someone is to release some of this Empress energy, embrace more of this Seven of Pentacles, what would come about? And then we end up with the Six of Pentacles, which is, you know, this is the victory card. And I just, to me, what I'm seeing is, let's just put this in the most simplest of ways. And this is why I'm saying you can take these concepts and place them anywhere you want in your life, wherever you feel that they may fit. I had just been reading last night a book about decluttering. And it talked about how when you look at, okay, just say the garage in the house, you know, not in the house, it's kind of not considered in the house. Let's say the garage or just any room in the house, okay? And you think, okay, today I have to clean and organize the entire garage. And it's kind of an unrealistic thing. And so you probably never get started, or you walk in there and you just panic and it's like, I can't think of what to do. And instead, what they had talked about in the book was say, okay, I'm going to go in the garage for 20 minutes and I'm just going to organize. I'm going to set a timer on my phone, and in 20 minutes, that's it. You know, if I can't figure out what to do, then I can only sit there. I can't do anything else. I can't check my email or anything. I'm devoting that 20 minutes to the garage and nothing else. And it's a smaller bite-sized piece. And then 20 minutes later, you've got 20 minutes done. And it feels good because you accomplished that 20 minutes. And you can then go, okay, I'm going to take like a 5-minute break and let me do another 20 minutes. And soon enough, step by step, like it's saying in this embrace card with the 7 of Pentacles, you are accomplishing this big thing that couldn't have been accomplished when you were still thinking, I have to do it all in one day. And yeah, so maybe it does, you do this a few times a day, you go in the garage a couple times a week. And it takes a little time, but the idea of having to do all of it in one day just never happens, and it keeps getting put off. So the real success comes when you break it down into those little small pieces. Now that's my interpretation that I'm giving you on these. You are free to take that and, you know, view the cards, the symbols, the ideas in them in whatever way works for you. It's not in a general reading like this. I certainly can't dictate anything for you, and it's important to bring that, you know, your ideas and interpretations. So I'm going to leave it at that, Aries. You're welcome. Share how you interpret the cards, what meaning all of them in relation to each other, because the more of us that share how we see and how these cards kind of reflect and grasp into our subconscious minds, and we share that with each other, we learn so much more about what these messages can be. All right, and that we're going to move on to Leo, but like I said, you're welcome to check any of your placements and or even go through all the houses of the zodiac and see what comes up in them. But thank you for letting me read and get this opening for you to contemplate. And I would love to see your interpretations of the cards, because there's so much more that you have to bring to these cards than I could possibly ever give you by myself. All right, take care, and I will hopefully talk to you in another reading. Okay, Leo. So we've already taken care of Aries. What is the possessive of Aries, right? So we're going to head on to yours, and we're taking a look at something to let go of, something to embrace at this time, and what would come about if you let go of that and embrace that. What would come about? And definitely bring your intuition into this. We did start with the overall theme of the Forest card, of this idea of finding yourself by getting lost. It's a very interesting, and remembering your first time into the woods and different experiences. And what have been your experiences with nature? Have you lived in the woods or near the woods? Are you living somewhere where it's mostly desert? So bring your interpretation to all of this. The first card we're going to pull is for one card for Leo to let go of. You have the 10 of Wands. So this is the card that talks very much about saying there's a burden that's been carried for a long time, and it's time to let it go. Time to feeling like you have to carry all of that weight And with that acceptance, just putting those burdens down. Now we're going to move into the one card for Leo to embrace. One card, please, for Leo to embrace. My, look at that. Embracing the Tower. You know, sometimes when we carry so much weight around with us, so many responsibilities, so many of these things that we feel we need to do, but perhaps might not be necessary, we can have a tower moment that says, I'm just going to put it all down, all the unnecessary BS. I'm just going to drop it. And it doesn't have to be, the tower doesn't have to be a hoard thing or a major upheaval or anything. It could just be really, I mean, these cards go so well together. But I mean, I definitely encourage you to bring your own interpretation and just think about where in your life, you know, the first thing that comes to my mind is like, what would happen if just like, okay, today you decided, oh my gosh, I just spilled all the cards. Like, speaking of dropping everything, okay. I just spilled a chunk of the deck off the table. What would happen if you decided, you know what, I'm on social media, I'm scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, and it's just, it's making me feel like I'm no good and I gotta live up to other standards and all of these other things. Say that's your 10 of Wands that you're gonna let go of. And it's gonna feel like a tower because, you know, we can get so addicted and so wrapped up that we feel like our lives are inside of our little phone that we carry around. And it's like, what if I put all of that burden of social media down and I just looked up and looked around me and saw the real forest? Or are you lost in the forest of something right now and it's time to say, no, I'm getting out of the woods. Just burn that mess down. And I'm not encouraging forest fires. I live in New Jersey in the Pinelands and we have forest fires all the time. So I kind of like freaked myself out saying that. It's a little interesting. And it does say, you know, what were some of the scary moments in the woods? What were some of the happy magical moments in the woods? So really, it depends, you know, where would this apply in your life? Something like this. And it doesn't have to be like a whole plethora of different things. It could be a plethora of different things. Or is it just like there's a certain area of your life, like I said, social media could be one of them. Like we could, just about all of us need a break from social media from time to time. That's a healthy thing to do. But what do the cards bring up to you? You know, and really see, where do these go in my life? And this is not the type of reading where it's meant to say, this is what's going on in your life, and I know you need to do this and that, and here's the instructions. No, it's just that food for thought. It's a way of contemplating, of thinking about things. Does this apply? And that's so important anytime anyone reads tarot for you, is to really, you know, pause the video, take a pause and go, does this apply here? Is there something, or did I learn this before? Have I tried this before and I didn't succeed at it? Is it something I need to retry in a different way? Really bring your own questions to the cards and feel them out. You know, it's okay. Whatever you bring to the cards is what you're meant to bring. And now, if something like this were to be done, if you were to do that, let go of that 10 of Wands in whatever way it applies to you, and you went ahead with this tower of, you know, redefine tower is what I'm really hearing about, you know, in my mind here. I'm hearing redefine a tower. This is perhaps not the typical tower we hear about when we do readings for people or when you've had readings done. This is like, how do you redefine tower to be a positive, good thing that liberates? You know, there's something about that I'm I'm kind of getting in some info about that. So play around with that idea if anything there kind of struck your imagination. And let's get one card to see where this letting go and embracing would lead. Where's one a possible? Okay, I kind of feel like this card wants to, as I lose my voice, come out. Oh my goodness. Here we have, you've got the Justice card. And it just, I'm looking at the card, and definitely, I mean, you don't have to worry about whether or not you know what the Justice card means or not. There's such a balance in this card. And like the swords, I always look at as like one sword is really like I am holding out the truth. And it's the truth about how to have a balanced life is what I just kind of got out of that. I am completely drawing a blank on the Justice card meaning this, because this card, just the visuals, has me so in another dreamy kind of place of like, wow, what an amazing thing to say. I'm not gonna wrestle around and carry weights that are not mine. I am gonna make a tower, and you know what? I'm walking away from the tower as it tumbles down because now I've got my life in balance. So that's a possibility there for you. So those are the three cards for you, Leo. Did I keep calling you Aries? Oh my gosh. Y'all are Leos. Aries is over here. This is my first time working with this spread. It's actually a spread that came to me when I was doing an unboxing of oh gosh, what's the words? Like the words are almost right here. The Wild Unknown Archetypes is here. I just picked that up, and I went ahead and got the pocket deck, and they fit so beautifully in this dream catcher kind of pattern. And the interesting thing is I was putting these cards and seeing how they fit together, and Kim Krans, who created both of these decks, when she came to the archetype deck, it actually came to her through a dream to start working on this archetype deck. So it seems so appropriate, and it was a wonderful coincidence that this came about from that. And that this is, you know, for some reason I'm hearing like journal about what is the necessity and what is the not the necessity. And I'm hearing some of you may have to pinpoint an area of your life where you may not even notice that particular area of your life is just bogging down the rest of what you're trying to do. So that's a clue in somewhere for you, Leo. But definitely feel free to share your interpretation of the cards in the comments, because that'll help all of us in a way learn the cards, but be able to find different interpretations, different aspects. I, as one person, cannot read for everyone, and you are the best reader for yourself. Way better than anyone else can read for you. You will always read better for yourself. All right, Leo, that's all I have. You're welcome to check out your other placements. Go through your whole birth chart and see what ones correspond with which of the signs, and you know, if you've got something in communication and what sign is in that, you may want to check that out. But just let your own spirit guide you wherever you want with this. And thank you for letting me do this reading for you. I hope it was a nice starter. I hope you take it much further than what I've been able to give you so far. And I hope you will share some of your thoughts for all of us to learn from in the comments. Okay? Hope to see you in another reading. We're going to move on to Sagittarius. Okay, gotta get a sip of coffee here and we're gonna get to Sag. I am a Sagittarius rising. Okay, so if you just did the timestamps and you don't know, we do have your theme card. Hopefully you stuck around to hear the reading of the theme card for the forest. And it talks about, you know, getting lost to be found, finding yourself by being lost. And there's a really interesting emerald that's sticking up here, and there's these beautiful colors, the silhouettes of the trees that you can look at. And sometimes when we're in the woods, it can be frightening. Sometimes we can find the most beautiful things we've ever seen. We will be looking at something to let go of, something to embrace at this time. And in that process of letting go and embracing, what could come from that? And throughout the reading, you know, this is very much, I'm trying to open the door to the reading for you and then hold the space so that you can then add to the reading with your own intuition, your own wisdom. Okay, so let's get one card for Sag, my rising sign. Sagittarius, one card for what to let go. We have the Two of Swords, which is that protective, guarding the heart, and it's just, those swords get heavy, you know? They get really heavy, and it's a lot of weight to carry, and it can be feeling very emotionally isolated. And this could be a calling to allow more of your authentic self, of your own passions to come out, of not having to guard your heart so much. Now let's take a look at one card for Sagittarius to embrace at this time. Very interesting. Wow. Y'all are going to have to share your thoughts on this combination in the comments, because this is very interesting. You have the Five of Swords to embrace. And I was just struck by that. This almost feels like, no, I'm going to like take my two swords and I'm going to hide over here in the corner, and I'm just not, I don't want to get into the battle, and I don't want to have to fight for anything. And then this is saying to let that go and embrace in this reading. Get in the fight. Fight for yourself. Stand up for what your heart believes in. You've got it. You can battle it. And I'm going to go right away to, like, if this was to be released and that was to embrace, what would Sagittarius possibly have as an outcome? The Daughter of Cups. Now this is the Page of Cups, and this would be, you know, very much that beginning of the emotional world, being newly emotional, and oh, vulnerability I just heard. Yes. Yeah, the ability to be vulnerable. This Sagittarius is, you know, I'm just tempted to... Mother of Pentacles is at the bottom of the deck, if anyone cared to know what was lurking under there. Oh gosh, bunches of cards. You know, it's not very often we would look at tarot and we would say the Five of Swords. That's a great thing. And surprisingly, you know, sometimes, and especially in a reading like this, where it's like, hey, I'm going to open the reading, I'm going to get you started, but I want you to take your intuition and I want you to try and look at these cards in whatever way your conscious, your subconscious can connect to, your imaginative, kind of in that dreamy sense of exploratory, you know, intuition. What could these cards mean to you, instead of you just listening to what a reader is going to tell you they mean in your life? What do they mean to you in your life? For now, I mean, the only thing I can see is I really saw that as, you know, instead of just trying to protect yourself and hide away, get into the fight and, you know what, be vulnerable. But how beautiful is that vulnerability? there's such a peacefulness to it, a softness, a gentleness to it. I'm not going to really say anything more because I would really love to hear from you in the comments. Like, what is it that you're bringing to these cards? Where in your life do you find this? You know, what aspects of your life do you say, you know, can you look at and go, you know what, if I did that over here in this part of my life, what a difference it would make. Are some of you scared right now to open up about something and you're like, yeah, you know, if I think about it, if I'm vulnerable and I'm honest and I just say who I am, there probably won't even be a fight. What is there to fight? Am I just fighting myself? So, you know what? And this Two of Swords is almost like, I'm going to sit here and just like use my swords against me and hold them in between me and you. And I'm kind of, they're cutting both ways, a little bit at you and a little bit at me. And here it's like, I'm going to take out the swords. And if you've got swords too, whatever, you know what? You're who you are. I'm who I am. I don't know what I'm talking about right now. So, but the outcome of the Daughter of Cups, the Page of Cups, that vulnerability, that emotional openness, it's a beautiful thing. I'd love to know everyone's interpretations of that particular release, embrace, and what could come of the release and embrace. Okay, so that is all I have for you. Thank you so much for letting me do this reading. I really do encourage you to share in the comments. I would love everyone to be involved, to group read, to inspire each other, to bring so much more to what the cards mean than just one person like me could give to you. But other than that, if you like this kind of reading, let me know. This is the first time I've done this. And I'm enjoying it. I'm really enjoying it. So we are going to do all the signs. I'm going to break them apart into fire, earth, air, and water. You feel free to go to whatever signs you are guided to go to. Check out the placements in your birth chart to see where the different signs are and what you know, like whether it's the house of communication or, you know, the house that corresponds with family or career, and just see what those different signs are and play around with. These aren't set in stones. These are sparks for you to start seeing things in a different light. Is there a different perspective I can take on a situation? And that's what the cards are really encouraging us to do in any reading, is to say, if I look at the situation from this way or that way, what would I think? How would it be different? How would that add, subtract, or balance out a situation? All right, with that, we are done with the fire signs. Earth signs will be up next. And if you've got Tauro, Virgo, or Capricorn placements, go ahead and join us for the next reading, which is the Earth signs. Thank you all, Aries, Leo, and Sagittarius, for joining with me today, and for your comments and your likes. And for those of you who have subscribed, thank you so much. It is a pleasure to read for you. You always make me happy. This is my happy time. My happy time of the day is to be able to do these readings. So I hope you enjoy them also. Take care, and I'll see you in another reading.